Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm here to update you on my power sheets. This is one of my favorite videos to film every month, where I get to share with you how last month went, how I did on my goals, what did I accomplish, and then I get to share with you what I have planned for the upcoming month and how I am making progress towards my goals. Before I start reviewing August, I want to take a moment to share something with you. It's been all over Instagram and I've shared it in a vlog, so you may have heard about it, but this is the first time I'm able to share in a video that is actually about the power sheets, and that is about the Cultivate Your Year live event that the Cultivate What Matters team is hosting in December, where the focus of the day is to work through your 2020 power sheets. And they have asked me to come be a table leader. So everybody's gonna be seated at tables of 10 while we work through our power sheets, and they're gonna walk us through them and give us some tips on goal setting and goal achieving. And they have asked me to come lead a table, and I am so honored and so excited to, first off, finally meet the team at Cultivate What Matters. I'm obsessed with all of them. Everybody seems so genuine and so fun. I can't wait to meet them. I can't wait to meet you, everybody that is coming, all the power sheets users from across the country that are coming to work on their power sheets together and set up 2020 for success. As of the time I'm filming this video, there are still some tickets available to the event. It is in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It is Monday, December 9th. It's one day, so it's from 9 to 5 on Monday, December 9th. If you are able to make it, if you live near there and you can drive, or I'm flying, so if you want to fly in and join me. I was just messaging the other day with somebody from Boston who said that she was looking into going. I do have a discount code for you. You can use the code LAKEN10 for 10% off your ticket. I do have an affiliate link in the description box. If you want to click that link, I would appreciate it. If not, you can just go to their website and look for it there and then use my code, and I hope to see you there. I'm just so excited. It's going to be a wonderful event, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see the 2020 power sheets also. Okay, let's get into it. So let's go to August and talk about how August went. Now, it's gonna look a little bare. Part of that is because I'm filming this not quite at the end of the month. I've talked about this before. My goal is always to do this the weekend before the new month starts. That's just how it works out for me. I can usually work on my power sheets maybe Thursday, Friday, early or Saturday, and then film it Saturday or Sunday. However, it has seemed like a constant thing where I am out of town the last weekend of the month. I've been out of town the last weekend of the month a lot this year. It's been very strange. It's happening again. I am out of town the last weekend of August, so we are filming this the second to last weekend. It's okay. I'm still excited to share with you the progress that I've made. A lot of the stuff, especially the monthly items, I have scheduled for tomorrow, Sunday, to power through. We'll see if they actually happen or if they have to get moved to September, even though I already filled September up. Okay, so the first monthly action item on the list was the September tending list. I obviously did that because we're filming this video. The second one was to email my management company. I know you're all gonna yell at me and tell me just to click send. It was on last month, it didn't happen. I moved it to August. I have drafted the email. I have gotten feedback from Sam and my mom and my dad, and it's ready to go. I just haven't clicked send. It's on my to-do list to do tomorrow. I've been on this kick where on Sundays I go to a coffee shop and I hammer through all the work that I need to get done on my computer. I respond to all the emails related to Plan with Laken. I check them throughout the week to make sure there's nothing like urgent that I need to respond to, but if there's something that's gonna take a little bit more time, I save it for Sunday. I usually will edit while I'm there. I usually work on a course that I'm working on, all those kinds of things I've been doing on Sundays at a coffee shop, and it's been a great system for me. So the email is on the list for tomorrow's coffee shop trip. Okay, the next two were the declutter sessions. So declutter session 1 and declutter session 2. The first one I did last weekend. I completely took apart my bathroom. I took everything out of everything, wiped it all down, cleaned it thoroughly, and then only put back what needed to get put back, and it feels incredible. My bathroom feels a lot more calming than it did before. And then the other declutter session I'm going to do tomorrow. Originally the plan was to do it on the 2 half-day Fridays I had in August, and it didn't happen on either of those days. So the last half day Friday I ended up doing a YouTube live, and that sort of took up my time for the declutter session. And then yesterday I ended up having a call with somebody, and then I decided to get filming out of the way because Sam wasn't gonna be there, because decluttering I can do while he's here. And so I figured that was probably better for Sunday. And I was already planning to film a bunch of videos on Saturday, and I knew I would get worn out, so I did quite a few yesterday on Friday, and then I'm doing quite a few today on Saturday, and I'll declutter tomorrow. So that one will get checked off tomorrow. The plan is to go through the coffee table. I'm actually hoping Sam's here because a lot of the stuff in there is his too. We have a lot of CDs and DVDs. I don't know what to do with those because I just feel like we don't use them. The DVDs, maybe we will watch someday, but honestly, when we watch movies at home, we rent movies that we haven't seen yet. We don't, Sam is actually like very anti-watching movies he's already seen, so I don't know what we're gonna do, but the coffee table is what I'm attacking tomorrow, and then maybe my desk, maybe. I tidied it up to film a video today, but it may need a little bit of work. Okay, and then the next one was a tap class. I actually did that twice, so I should get extra points for that. Okay, the next one is the pillow and mattress covers for the allergy that I learned I had in July. So then in August, the goal was to get covers. I actually just put them on this morning. I ordered them earlier this week. I ended up getting some from Amazon and I put them on this morning. I'll let you know if it feels like it's making a difference. I'm also trying to be consistent by using my nose spray that she prescribed to me. I actually got a refill. I didn't realize she was refilling it monthly. So now I have two because the other one hadn't run out yet. So I'm keeping one in the bedroom and then one in the bathroom. So I'm trying to be good about doing it once because it says twice a day. So I've been doing it once before bed and then, which I'll do it in either place. Sometimes I do it when I'm like brushing my teeth and getting ready for bed if I remember. If I don't, there's one in the bedroom. And then I try to do it in the morning, which that's the one I usually use the bedroom for because it's on my makeup thing. So I'll try to do it like right before I start doing my makeup. Okay, the next one is birthdays. I did those for August. The last three, I haven't done yet. So the first one is the YouTube analytics. I might get to that tomorrow. It's on the list for tomorrow at the coffee shop, but it's not the #1 priority. Everything else on the list is more of a priority given that I'm going out of town. So we'll see if I don't get to it. It's not the end of the world. I'm struggling because I feel like a lot of the YouTube gurus talk about how important analytics are to understanding your community and what they like and what's important to them. But at the same time, I don't feel like I look at my analytics and learn things I don't already know. I don't know. I don't feel like I look at them and I'm like mind blown and change my content plan. I don't know. We'll see. I might end up not doing that as consistently as I originally planned. The last two are related to the trips. The first one is to schedule the vaccines. That is on my to-do list for next week. I'm just gonna use the doctor that's in my office. My friend who also took a trip to India, my coworker, she said that she just told them downstairs, hey, this is when I'm going, this is where I'm going, and they just did everything that she needed. So I think I'm just gonna do that, although that doesn't really help Sam, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. It's on my to-do list for Monday when I get to work. And then the last one was to have a brainstorm session with Sam about India. We didn't do this, not because I just didn't make time for it, but I also kind of decided I didn't want to do it. And here's why. We are taking so many trips. And I really, as important as India is because it is an international trip, we have the important things done. Okay, we have flights, we have hotels, we have visas, and then as of Monday, I'm gonna have an appointment for the vaccines. All the other stuff, the tours and the restaurants, like, I don't know that it needs to be this far out in advance. And we have a big trip before that. We're going to Seattle and Vancouver in September. And so I decided that I wasn't gonna force the brainstorm session for India because let's get through the Seattle, Vancouver trip. Also, I thought, we could spend some time on that trip together. We have 2 6-hour flights together, to and from Seattle, that we could talk about it then. Right? That was my thought. I was like, we can just do that then. I didn't actually move it to the September list, but I thought that it can get done in that whole week that we're spending together on our other trip. So hopefully by the end of Monday, I will be able to shade all of these in with the exception of the brainstorm session. All right, the weekly tasks. These actually went really well and I was really happy with them. So the first one was the organization podcast. I am almost caught up with her to her current podcast and then I'll just listen when they come out. But I have been loving that organizational podcast. I'm not moving that to September because it has just sort of become a thing now. It's just included in my podcasts and I really like it. The next one is planning the week with Sam. This has also finally, I feel like, been instilled into a habit. He actually looks for it now. He's like, hey, we need to fill out the calendar on the countertop. Like, we need to do this. So I think that one is good and I'm not moving it to September. Not something that we're quitting, but I'm just not carrying it over. I think that that is one of those things, not really the monthly tasks, but the weekly and the daily tasks. Some of them, when I don't move them to the next month, it doesn't mean that they're going away. It just means that it's become such a habit in my life that I don't have to check it off to make sure that it gets done. Does it still sometimes end up on my planner somehow, either in a habit tracker or like as a to-do list item? Absolutely. But it doesn't need to be on my power sheets anymore, if that makes sense. Okay, the next two, we're talking to my mom and talking to my dad. Also good. My dad has been really good about calling me lately. I actually talked to him like 3 times this week for like extended periods of time. My mom is the one that I have to really do more of the reaching out. She's just, I don't know. My dad drives a lot because he's out in like a suburb, and so he calls me when he's in the car. My mom lives in a city, so she's not driving as much, although she walks a lot. I should tell her more, but she walks during the day. I don't know. I need to maybe work a little bit more being like, Mom, you should just call me when you're free, and we'll see if I'm free. But it's been really good. I like having this. I'm still moving this to September though, because I still want it to be a focus, especially when I start traveling. I want to make sure that I'm still talking to them. And then the last two were the detox mask and the hydrate mask. And I was pretty consistent with these. I did really enjoy having this. I think that my skin is benefiting from that. I'm not really sure. It's still pretty hot outside, so my skin's still pretty greasy and still pretty oily. It's not very happy with me. But I do think that the masks helped, and I did like having it as sort of just like a little pampering relaxation moment. Okay, the daily ones. I'm so excited to talk about these. Okay, so the first one is the power sheets. Just like it was before, having them open on my desk is absolutely life-changing. I will never not do that again. I am not carrying it over to September because it's become such a good habit of mine just to check in with them when they're sitting there open on my desk. So I'm not gonna move that to September, but it's something I am still gonna continue doing. The next one is the PM Tidy. I still phoned it in this month. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I still gave myself a check just because I did one thing, which is not bad. Like, it's still helpful to do that one thing before I go to bed, whatever that one thing is, whether it is the dishes or it's tidying up the living room. But I definitely gave myself the check sometimes when I didn't do all of it. Like, I did the dishes, so I gave myself a check, but the living room was still kind of messy. Or I tidied up the living room, but there were still a couple dishes in the sink, and I was like, I'm tired and going to bed. So I am carrying this into September. What I really need to do is be more strict about giving myself the check only if I actually do all the things. Like, the apartment is actually like all tidied up before we go to bed. And I think some of my struggle sometimes is I'm exhausted. I am not a night person. So by the time like I'm done with my night things and it's time to tidy up and go to bed, I'm tired. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is if it's not tidy already, do a little bit before, like right when I get home from work, before I do anything else, and see if that helps. It's still not gonna, I mean, there's still gonna be things to do afterwards because whatever I ended up doing, I need to clean up, and there's probably gonna be dishes from dinner. Maybe I do those right after dinner instead of waiting. I'm gonna try to push things as much as possible earlier in the evening, because then I will actually do it when I have more energy versus when we get to right before bed. I'm done. I'm just done. Okay, the next one is my Apple Watch. Once again, I was kind of good, kind of not good. I've been actually much better recently. I'm not carrying this over to September, not because it's not important to me, because I am gonna try and continue it, just because there's other things I want to focus on instead related to my health. In fact, 4 of the 5 daily things for September are health related. So the Apple Watch is getting kind of kicked off. I don't know. I'm still tracking it in my life planner on my year at a glance page, but I'm not going to track it in my power sheets anymore. Okay, the salad challenge. So far, I've only missed 5. I missed 5 days. 5 out of 23 so far. Okay, that's like, I don't know, 80% kind of somewhere in there. It's not great, but it's not awful. I feel like I did a pretty good job. For somebody who didn't like salads, the fact that I ate 18 salads so far this month, that's a lot of salad. That is a lot of salad, and I learned a lot about what I like and what I don't like in salads. I'm gonna go through, spoiler alert, all of that in my favorites video, what I like in salads, what I don't like in salads. But I will tell you, I'm so glad I did this challenge. I'm so glad that I did it. It forced me to eat salads out. Normally, I wouldn't order a salad when I go out to dinner. It forced me to go get a salad for lunch instead of going down to the cafeteria and just, you know, getting a burger or getting whatever is the special for the day. Like, it was a great challenge for me. I'm changing it up a little bit in September. You'll see what I'm doing when we get there. But I have to say, I'm very proud of it, and I will likely come back to it at a later date. Okay, and the last one was get ready in the morning. I'm glad that I included this, and I do think it made a difference. There were definitely days where I felt like I put in a little bit more effort where I wouldn't have, but I also have had a very busy month where I feel like there were a lot of days that I had stuff going on and I had meetings and I had reasons to like actually pull myself together. It also helped that I moved desks at the very end of July, and my new desk is like around my new team, whereas before my desk was around nobody. I was pretty much alone. Like I could get away with not seeing people, but now I can't get away with that. I almost always like have small talk with my team who's near me. So like I was gonna probably try anyways, but I really appreciated that I did that. It did force me on weekends sometimes to maybe not get out of the sweatpants, but maybe like make sure I washed my face and pulled my hair up or put it in a braid or whatever. I did something more than just like move from the bed to the couch. Okay, so that is August. I feel like August was pretty good. I feel good. I feel a little bit healthier, to be honest. I don't know if it's all the salad that I've been eating, but I think it's been really good. I feel like I made some really good progress without it feeling overwhelming. Like I also feel like I was able to live my life and enjoy things while making progress on my goals. All right, let's talk about September. So let's start with the encouraging words, which I put, don't lose your momentum. Usually I look for like some inspirational quote by some famous person. I have like an idea of what I want to put there, and then I spend some time Googling quotes. But I have been really good the past like week or so when it comes to going to the gym and eating correctly and sort of tracking my food a little bit. Nothing crazy. Like I'm not trying to get down to the calorie, but I'm trying to just get a general sense of where I am. And I'm telling myself not to lose that momentum and not to let little things throw me off, because that's my biggest struggle when it comes to, I'm talking health specifically, but really any goal. I have this all or nothing mindset that I struggle with, where I'm like, oh, I ate this cookie at work. Oh, the whole day's lost. It's time to just eat all the calories and just like go to the store and have pizza for dinner. Like that's ridiculous. Like just because I splurged and caved and had one cookie doesn't mean that I can't have the healthy dinner I was planning to have. So those words are really to remind me that I've done a lot in the past week or so, but not to lose that momentum and keep going. And to sort of go with that, I made my top priority to focus on small decisions. So kind of going with my all or nothing mindset, I usually have this like, everything has to have a huge, big impact, and I need to see the results like that. And so what I'm trying to focus on is making those little small decisions and letting those add up. And even though you're not gonna see the results right away, knowing that those little small decisions will add up in the long run. So maybe it's taking the stairs one time instead of taking the elevator. Sometimes it's even going to a workout class. Like I went to a class last week and I had my Apple Watch and it said that in 30 minutes, I say only, but I burned like 170 calories. And I was like, that's it? Like, that's like 2 apples. Like that's like nothing. And part of me was kind of disappointed, and I was like, stop. If you did that every single day, it would add up. Plus it was a weightlifting class, and so you're building muscle and that's going to help. So trying to focus on those small decisions, and even though it doesn't feel like they're going to have a big impact right away, know that they're going to have a big impact when they add up together. Okay, so let's start with the monthly items. The first one is the October tending list. That's always the first thing that I put down. At this point, it's probably a little bit ridiculous to put that down every month, but I don't care. It gives me something to check off. All right, the next one is a finance related thing. I haven't had a finance thing in a while, and that is to work on some of my LLC stuff. So after I finally got monetized here on YouTube, I set up an LLC for Plan with Lakin, and I have a couple follow-up things I need to do, some extra tax related things I need to work on. I have a whole kind of separate list of that, so this sort of encompasses all of it. It seems like, oh, well, you should just do one task at a time on the monthly list. Yes, but each task is like 5 minutes. There's like 10 of them, so it's probably about an hour's worth of work, so that's why I felt like I'm gonna put it down as one task and have my separate list somewhere else. All right, the next one is pretty much the last place I feel like needs decluttering for the year, and that is the shelves in the bedroom. They've just kind of gotten a little bit more muddled over the past couple of months, so I'm just gonna give them a good once over in September. Okay, the next one is health related, and that is to schedule a dermatologist appointment. So I talked about this when scheduling my allergy appointment was one of the monthly tasks. I put aside not a lot, but I put aside a good chunk of money into my health savings account to cover the cost of getting my wisdom teeth removed. And then my wisdom teeth did not cost near as much as I thought they were going to. I was kind of blown away by that. So I thought I'm gonna take that money and use it for copays for all these other appointments that I've wanted to do. over the, you know, the course of my life, my adult life, like all these things that I feel like an adult should do, like go to the allergist and go to the dermatologist. I've been to the dermatologist once, but it was quite a few years ago. So I went to the allergist, got my copay, paid for that, still have money in my health savings account that's gonna go away at the end of the year. So I am headed to the dermatologist. I'm gonna make an appointment to go, and that's all that this is just making the appointment. Okay, the next two are relationship related. So we have birthdays and celebrations binder. So the birthdays is the same as it is every month. I just wanna make sure that I'm sending cards, gifts, if applicable, to all the birthday people that I put on the list in my planner. The celebrations binder is interesting. I didn't put any clarification around that because I'm not quite sure how or if I'm gonna use it. So the celebrations binder, if you don't know, is a product created by the Cultivate What Matters people. And I did a review video on it in the spring, I think, a while ago. So if you're interested, go check that video out. I'm gonna revisit it and see if it's something that I want to set up for 2020. I'm gonna kind of flip through it again and see if it's something I want to incorporate into my 2020 goals and plans. And if I do, then setting it up will probably be a future task. But for now, I just kind of want to look back through it and review it and see if it's something that will work for me or something I can make work for me. Okay, the next one is falling into that me category. It's kind of a catch-all for things that I want to do. And this is just to set up a 2020 overview. So I realized the other day that Sam and I were talking about something and vacation days, and I just want to get a snapshot of what 2020 looks like, when vacations are going to fall, how many vacation days are going to be used here and there, and just kind of getting a big picture for, we've gotten some wedding notifications, although the two we've gotten for 2020 so far are both here in New York, so that's great, unlike this year where we're going to 2 in Texas and 2 in Asia. And so I just want to get a big picture look at 2020 right now. I'm not sure where I'm going to do this yet. I haven't quite figured that out, but it's something that I almost put on my to-do list for like a random day, and then I was like, no, that's like a bigger task. Go put that on your power sheets. Okay, the next two are kind of related to the India trip, so I put them both with the India color, but one's actually related to another trip. So the color, this like red color coding, the goal is about the India trip, but it sort of evolved a little bit to all of our trips. And you'll see this month I have a couple different tasks that are related to other trips, but I'm using this same color. So the first task is related to the India trip, and that is to schedule our Taj Mahal tour. Now, I know when I was talking about August, I mentioned that I'm kind of not putting India on hold, but I'm trying not to think about it too much until we get through Seattle. But the one thing I want to make sure that we book for India, because there's one specific day I want to do it, and it's the one thing that I want to make sure we do, which is go tour the Taj Mahal. That's the one thing I want to get booked, and then I'm going to feel much better about it. The other reason it's on September's list is I think we're going to go with another couple that's going to India for the wedding, and my friend, she very much so is a one-track mind, and her one track is for the trip we're going on next weekend. So I'm not bringing up India to her until we get through that trip. But once we get through that trip, I will bring it up to her and be like, we need to book this. The next thing, again, using the same color, but it's about our China trip, and that is to get our China visas. Similar, the Indian visas seem to be a thing that I could not get done, and I kept putting it, I think it ended up on 3 or 4 different lists. So hopefully the China visas will just get done this month, and they will only have to be on one list. And then the last monthly task is to organize my videos. So I talked about this in a weekly vlog, but I really want to create an organization system for all my YouTube videos. So yes, they're all stored up on YouTube, but if YouTube shut down tomorrow, I have all my footage. Well, I actually don't have all my footage. That's another story, but I have a lot of my footage, and then I'm going to download from YouTube the ones that I don't have, but I want to come up with a system to organize them. So I have a bunch of different external hard drives, and that's fine. Like, they're all not going to fit on one unless I spend a lot of money and buy a huge one. That's fine. I don't mind having different ones, but I want to sort them into folders, like have all the plan with me's in one, and have all the weekly vlogs in one, and have the hard drive sorted that way. Right now they're sorted by dates, and that's fine for now, but I really want to get a grasp on organizing them and just making sure that I have all my videos that I've ever made stored externally somewhere. Okay, the weekly action items. So the first one is to cook a new recipe. So since I've taken a break from Jenny Craig, I've gotten back into meal prepping and cooking, and I want to try a new recipe every week. I've been going to some old faithfuls while I'm getting back into it, which has worked out well, but going forward, I want to try some new things. So my goal in September is to do one new recipe a week. So the next one is a podcast. So I've liked that I've included a podcast on every one of my tending lists this year for the most part. That one month I think I tried to do like 3. That was ridiculous. But I like having one new podcast that I'm gonna try each month. And this one, it's one from NPR, I think, recommended by Amy Landino. It's called Life Kits, I'm not sure. I started listening to it and they have a number of different topics. I gave this the health color because I am focusing on the health ones first. They have one about like eating properly and then they have one about exercise. So I'm listening to those first and then I might branch out and listen to the rest of them. But for now, I'm gonna try and listen to one per week just to get myself going like I have in the past. Okay, talking to my mom, talking to my dad, those are being carried over from the prior months. Not that I don't feel like it has become a habit, because I think it has. I think my dad more so than my mom has been better, so I still want to keep it on here, but I feel like I couldn't just put my mom and not put my dad. Okay, the next one is blank. It does have a color, but it's blank because I don't want to share quite yet what it is that I'm working on, but there is something that I'm working on that I want to work on weekly that is going to be that color, and I'm going to write it down as soon as I'm done filming this video. Okay, the next one, again, is that India trip color, but it is to do something for our Seattle trip, which it's also Seattle, Vancouver. But right now, all we have, again, are flights. We have our hotel for Seattle is covered by the company. We have our rent car to get us to and from Vancouver, and then we have our Airbnb for Vancouver. That's it. We don't have anything else booked. I mean, we have some stuff that will happen because of the company has it scheduled and planned, but we do have a lot of free time in Seattle, and then obviously tons of free time in Vancouver. So I did ask for some recommendations from you on my monthly plan with me video for Vancouver and Seattle. If you have any more, I would love to hear them. But my goal is each week to spend a little bit of time planning or booking something for our trip. Okay, and then the last two are both media related. So I'm bringing back the phone-free bubble bath. This was something that I just absolutely enjoyed. Every time I've added it to my tending list, like, I love it. And I don't know what my problem is, but it's not that I don't take bubble baths when it's not on my tending list, because I do. I try to take a bubble bath once a week. It's just like one of my favorite self-care things to do. But I will still take my phone, or I'll take like my iPad and watch Friends while I'm in the bath, which is such a waste. Take your book, like, and leave the phone out here and take the book with you. But when I put it on my power sheets, I do it. So I'm bringing it back this month. It's kind of ridiculous. And then the last one is to start going through the photos on my phone. What instigated this is I was scrolling through the pictures on my phone, and I got to this section of pictures where I'd taken a bunch of pictures in this really cute store that I wanted like as backup pictures to post on Instagram when I needed something to post. And I'd forgotten all about them. And I was like, well, if you did a better job of organizing the pictures on your phone, you would be able to see, like, you would have those in a folder called Post Instagram. There's also tons of screenshots I've saved of like gift ideas that are buried into my phones. And then I also have times where I take like 800 photos of my planner and then share one to Instagram. Go delete those other 800 photos that you took. So I want to start going through them. It's gonna take a very long time to clean this up, but I'm gonna start right now. I almost made it a daily task, but I was like, we're gonna start it with a weekly task and see how it goes. And I'm gonna try to do it not like just sitting on my couch. I'm gonna try to do it when I'm like in a cab to the airport or on the subway or like somewhere where I can't be doing something else. Does that make sense? And I'm not giving myself a specific time. I just need to spend some time working on it once a week in September, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, the daily items. Like I said, 4 of the 5 daily items are all health related, which I'm excited about because while I do feel like I've included health things, I mean, I have included health things every single month on my tending list, that is the one goal that I feel like I haven't made progress on. Like, I don't understand. That's the one goal. Like, if I look at those 8 goals that I set at the beginning of the year, like the big picture goals, that is the one that I still feel like is not, I haven't even like moved the needle. And I'm not even talking about the number on the scale. Like, I just feel like I've been like this all year. And so I don't know. I don't know what it is. Okay, so the first daily item is to weigh in every day. Now, there are a ton of different schools of thought on whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. And for me, it's a good thing. I understand that my weight fluctuates every second of every day based on the way the wind blows. Like, I understand that there are so many factors that go into the number on the scale. But I will tell you, when I see it go down even like 0.1 pounds, like 1/10 of a pound, it impacts my motivation. I get excited to see that go down, and I like it just fuels me a little bit more. And I'm pretty good about not getting unmotivated when it goes up a little bit. Like even this week, it was down, like little tenths of a pound here, there, and then, excuse me. And then one day it went up 0.2 of a pound. It was fine. And then the next day it was down 0.5. I like weighing in every day, and it's something that I used to do a lot, and I think that it motivates me more than not doing it. So I'm gonna try it for September, although let's be honest, I can't do it the whole week that I'm in Seattle. Unless the gym at the hotel has a scale, sometimes they do, although then I have to be in gym clothes, but at least it'll give me a proxy. Otherwise, it's gonna be up until we go on our trip. Still, I'm gonna try to make it a habit, and hopefully it'll just carry on in the future. The next one is sort of my replacement for the salad challenge, and that is to eat a green vegetable. So I did a while back where I was like, eat your veggies. I think I did 3 servings. 3 servings of vegetables. Even when I'm being really healthy, I don't feel like I have 3 servings of vegetables. I should, I get it, but I don't. So my goal in September is just to have a green vegetable. Now, luckily I know what I like in a salad now, and so if I don't have a green vegetable cooked, ready to go, I can go get a salad, and then that will count as my green vegetable. So some of them will still be salads, but I also like made Brussels sprouts one time this month. That would count as my green vegetable. I like asparagus. That will count as my green vegetable. So I actually like green beans. I have a lot of frozen green vegetables actually in my freezer right now. I have asparagus, Brussels sprouts, and green beans all in my freezer. So that is my goal for September, is to every day have at least 1 green vegetable. Okay, the next one is actually something that I started doing a couple weeks ago, and I've been tracking it actually at work on my habit tracker at work. I just haven't included it in my planner or as part of my power sheets, but I'm gonna make it official this month. And that is to finish a whole cup of water, my like cup that I have on my desk, which I think is like 20 ounces. It's like a medium-sized cup, by noon. I also have it on my habit tracker at work to finish 1 by 5, but that one is really easy to do because usually I work out at lunch, and so I will finish a cup from that. I will eat lunch and I will finish a cup while I do that. That's also like all afternoon while I'm sitting at my desk, so I usually can finish a cup or more than 1 pretty easily. But the noon one is a little bit harder because I usually will have a morning snack, but I'm not really eating a meal in between. And there's really only a couple hours, like 3 hours between the time I get to my desk at 9 and noon. But I'm gonna try to finish 1 cup of water before noon. And I think, again, I have been doing it, or at least been tracking it on my habit tracker at work, but I think having it in my power sheets is gonna make me work for it even more. Okay, the next one is to take advantage of my standing desk. So I have a standing desk at work, and when I first got it, I was really good about using it. Like I used it a lot, and then I stopped. I don't know if I got lazy or I forget that it moves or that it goes up. So I'm adding it to my power sheets. I actually came up with this pretty early on in August, but I'd already done my August power sheets, and I wasn't gonna try and add a new habit in. Like I was gonna focus on what I was doing in August, and so I wrote it down. It was the first thing I wrote down on a sticky note to put in September, and that is for at least 30 minutes a day to stand up at my standing desk. If there is a project that I'm going to be working on that is going to take like I mean, obviously the projects I work on take a lot more time, but I try to bounce between things and distract my attention. So I'm going to try and find 1 thing per day that I think it will also help me focus on that 1 thing. I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes. I'm going to stand and go. And I think that that's gonna be good for my health. I think it's gonna be good for my productivity, and it's gonna force me to use my standing desk. Now, this is just the weekday, right? It's Monday through Friday that I'm at work. I wanna come up with something to do it on the weekends too. I don't know if it's just like, maybe I stand at my kitchen counter for 30 minutes doing something, whether it's cooking or whether it's just like do it at your kitchen counter instead of doing it at the desk. Although it's a little low in terms of like a countertop for a standing desk, but you get what I'm saying. If you have any ideas on how I can incorporate that into my weekend, let me know. I mean, I could just go for like a 30-minute walk, but that's different. Like walking for 30 minutes and standing for 30 minutes are different. Okay, and then the last one is the PM tidy. I'm bringing it back because I still don't feel like I'm doing a good job. Like I mentioned before, I'm phoning it in. So this month I'm gonna try to A, not phone it in and only give myself the check if the apartment really is in good state. B, I'm gonna try and do stuff earlier in the night. C, I'm gonna make it clear to Sam that this is a goal of mine. I don't know that I told him about the dishes. Like I told him I wanted to make sure the dishes were always done before we went to bed, but I didn't like remind him of it each night. I told him at the beginning of the month, like this is my goal, but I didn't like each night, I didn't say, hey, can we make sure the dishes are done? Like I'll do this and you do that. So I'm gonna remind him that this is a goal of mine. This is something that I want to do every night before we go to bed. And hopefully we can do it together, or he can at least be accountability for me to actually get it done. Okay, that's it. That's the update on August and all the goals I have planned for September. I am so excited. I feel like I say that every month, but I'm so excited about the new month. But I really am excited. Let me know in the comments, what is one thing you accomplished in August that you are super proud of? It can be something super small. It can be a new daily habit. Just let me know so we can celebrate together. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning. That sounds repetitive. Like the goal is to work on your goals. Is that grammatically correct? That I had in Fridays and it's wrong. Okay, let me let the mail person finish while clicking. We need to fill out the calendar on the counter, on the calendar top, to just touch in with them. Know that they're going to have a bit. Let's take a break and go sit in the AC for 5 seconds. Unless the gym at the airport, not at the airport. That sounds bad.